Hey, happy Homebrew Wednesday. Yeah, let's see what I got to talk about this week. So first of all, this is my Hefeweizen. Yeah, I got some comments back from the Brewed Palate. He mentioned that the final gravity 1020 was a little bit high for a Hefeweizen. I think you're right, but I started out at 1063, I think, and I got down to 1020. It wasn't bubbling anymore. It was the right gravity that I wanted. It tasted okay. So, and I'm not bottling it, so there'll be no bottle rockets going off or bottle bombs. So anyway, went ahead, tapped it. I'm very, very happy with it. So let's see. Still fermenting my, I call it trash beer. Yeah, you can probably see that in there. It stopped bubbling now. It's been going for about, I don't know, 10 days. I brewed it last Saturday, so yeah, it's about 10 days. So I'm gonna let it go. I'm actually gonna be salmon fishing starting tomorrow. So I'm gonna let that go for another 3 or 4 days before I get back from Alaska. Then I'll go ahead and cold crash it, put some fining agents in it, because I think this one's going to be not like this Hefeweizen where, I don't know if you can see this, it's pretty darn clear, but it's cloudy like it's supposed to be. Man, did I mention this is a freaking great beer? I'm enjoying this thing. I didn't used to like Hefeweizens. I mean, I had a Crystal Weizen when I was in Germany one time, but I kind of lost the appetite for them. But now that I'm brewing my own, I think I like them again. Anyway, this beer that I'm fermenting right now, it's I don't know what it's going to be. I thought that I put Saison yeast in it. If you remember, it was from last week. It was about 12.5 pounds of grain that I had left over. There was U.S. 2-row, some Belgian 2-row Pilsner. There was some Munich, some Vienna, and something else. I can't remember. I'm sure I'll put up a comment here in a minute. Oh, there it is. Anyway, the hops that I used, wow, there'll be another little text pop up in a minute. Oh, there it is. So the yeast I thought was going to be Saison yeast, and I'm pretty sure that's what I rinsed, because I rinsed it from a previous batch. And while I was, I pitched this stuff. It was the second batch from my electric system here. I call my electric system the Beast. Oh, by the way, I got the tile up in for the backsplash now, so it's looking pretty darn professional. Let's get the beer in there. Oh, what a nice photo, isn't it? Anyway, the thing's looking pretty professional. But anyway, that was this, what I think is the Saison, was the second batch. The Hefeweizen was the first. And remember, this was my second Hefeweizen. The first Hefeweizen, if you remember, I dropped the carboy and had a unplanned emergency of shards of glass and bloody fingers in my kitchen. So the second Hefeweizen, it was really for my neighbor. He really likes Hefeweizens. He's a German guy, so I took that over to him last weekend. He's very happy. But anyway, the second batch was this I don't know, trash pantry Saison, whatever you want to call it. But as I was smelling the fermentation of this batch, it didn't smell like a Saison. Didn't have that funky character, so not really sure what it's going to turn out to be. So anyway, as I was saying, not really sure what that, pantry Saison that I think is going to turn out to be. Anyway, we'll see what happens. So I'll come back from Alaska, hopefully with some salmon and not a bunch of grotesque scars from getting mauled by a brown bear that thinks I look like a great big salmon. And anyway, I'll come back. It'll be a cold crashed with some gelatin findings. I'll go ahead and rack it, and hopefully I think it's going to taste good. We'll see what happens. I'm for future brews. First of all, for my SJ Pork Challenge, I'm thinking about doing an Imperial Stout, oak barrel aged with a local ingredient that might be a spirit here for the local area. Anyway, I've never done an Imperial Stout. I heard they're pretty aggressive fermenters, so definitely do a blow-off tube for this thing. I would like to know what your recommendations are as far as a glass carboy or a plastic bucket. What you recommend. Maybe I do the plastic bucket for, I mean, I saw one of the videos on a brew tube where some guy was using a plastic bucket for an Imperial Stout and it like exploded on him. It was a really cool video, but don't want that to happen inside my fermentation chamber. I would be very upset. So anyway, throw some comments in there if you have any recommendations for a first Imperial Stout. I would do a blow-off tube. You know, does the bucket explode if you use a blow-off tube? I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, that's some ideas for my Imperial Stout. If you have any tips on Imperial Stouts, please let me know so I don't make any mistakes you guys have already made and like to. Anyway, what else? Let's see. A lot of good videos out there. You know, I saw a video a while back. Speaking of SJ Pour, he did a video saying your Homebrew Wednesday videos don't always have to be brew days. This is not going to be a brew day video, obviously. It's just going to be me enjoying a homebrew. With that said, I love brew day footage. It's really cool because and I think I said this before in a video, when you watch a brew day footage, I can literally smell the hops when you guys do the hop additions, and if I have a week where I can't brew, it's kind of cool to see brew day footage because it kind of takes me there like I'm brewing myself. So there's something to be said for brew day footage for Homebrew Wednesday video. Plus videos like this where you're just kind of shooting the shit and talking about other things besides brewing is cool too. Hops. So my hops are growing out back. It's weird. I have Centennial and Willamette, and I said in a previous video the Centennial took off, or actually the Willamette took off early, then the Centennial kind of caught up, which is strange. Now I've got the cones starting to bud. Here it is, mid-July. The cones are just starting to bud. Pretty good on the Centennial. I don't see any cones on the Willamette. I don't know if this is a central, eastern Virginia, DC area kind of. Actually, not central Virginia. Sorry, northern Virginia, DC area, kind of deal. If that's normal. I know there's some other homebrew clubs here in DC, and it looks like some of these other folks already have cones going. Maybe I didn't plant the rhizomes early enough. I waited until I was certain that the frost wouldn't kill them. But anyway, be it as it may, I do have one bind, actually 3 binds that are growing hops, flowers on 2 of them. One of them have pretty good developed hop cones. They've stopped at about 20 feet, I think, maybe somewhere between 15 and 20 feet they've stopped growing. I don't know if that's normal. We'll see. If you have some ideas in the comment section, like how long do these things go? I mean, does it go to fall? Is it September, October, November? When do I look to cut these things down? And it's my first time growing hops, so any advice you have on hop growing would certainly be appreciated. I had intended to go to Philadelphia for the homebrew homecoming, or the homebrew homecoming convention in Philadelphia. I'm not going to be able to go. I'm heading on a work trip, so I'll be in Colorado. I'll just be getting back that weekend, and my wife is not excited about the prospect of me coming in, throwing some clothes in the wash and then heading right out. So unfortunately, I won't be able to make that. But I am going to mark my calendar for the next American Homebrew Association convention, wherever it's going to be. I think it's going to be somewhere here near the East Coast next year. I think I saw on someone's post. Anyway, well, that's about all I have for this week. My basement is just about done. We cleaned the floors. The guys got to come in and redo the stain on the floors, and then we got to throw up some paint. Now here's something cool I want to show you. So here's the brew system, and then right across is the wall. So this is going to be the wall that I set up my bar stool here. If you can see, this is kind of the layout. I got the wall right opposite of the brew system. Well, on this wall, I want to put a big swath of chalkboard paint. That way, because I find myself when I'm brewing, if I want to record, gravities and such, I have to run over, get a piece of paper, write it down, But if I've got the chalkboard right across from the brew system, I can just write the recipe, I can put the timings on there, you know, it just makes things a lot easier. And, you know, I think it looks kind of cool too. So I might be able to do some Dean's List brewery designs and, you know, kind of like you see in bars. So anyway, I'm excited to do that. But what that means is I got to first paint this damn place. And I'm not excited about doing that. Last time I tried to paint, my wife had me paint in the pool shed, and I had a little quart of paint, and you know, I'd almost gotten done thinking, wow, I'm knocking this out in the afternoon, and then all of a sudden in slow motion the paint falls from my hand, hits the ground, splashes up in my face, and I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. So anyway, not looking forward to the painting part of this. If I can pay someone to do this, I will, but I don't think my wife's gonna let me get away with it. So anyway, once I get the chalkboard paint on there and get a few formulas, I'll certainly include that in my footage. So hey, looking forward to seeing all your videos. Have a happy Homebrew Wednesday, have a happy homebrew, and we'll see you next week, hopefully with a lot of salmon. Dean's List out. She's been looking like a